I'm about to share with you a story about a technique that I attempted to use to quickly raise the Kundalini. I really am stoked to share this story about how Shiva slapped me, smacked me, and crushed my ego with thunderbolts. And perhaps consider trying a different technique in your journey towards enlightenment. Boom! Time to take a flashback into the past. We're going to Arunachala, the mountain of fire, one of the 5 sacred mountains in India. Shiva's lingam, the great one. I arrived in Tiruvannamalai back in 2010, and I was on this path to waken my Kundalini. I said, I'm gonna do it. And I spent 4 months in India, traveling around to ashrams, doing lots of yoga, doing hard sadhana, chanting, in this attempt to open this energy, this Kundalini energy. Now I must tell you that I was warned 3 times on my journey not to do this, not to try to awaken the Kundalini energy by 3 different mystics, 3 different gurus. Now the 3rd one was a guru down in Kerala at the Hanuman temple. Every night we blew the conch shell, we took our shirts off, and we had fire ceremony to the gods of the strength. And this guru told me, slow down. You don't need these austeric things in these times. We're all going through a process and a budding together. Just take care of yourself, take care of your body. I'm sorry, Mr. Guru, that's not the way that Michael works. I'm the intense being, the one that goes into the fire, and I can withstand anything. The ego of a 25-year-old man. And I start to explore the mountain, and I meet this great sadhu up on the mountain. He'd been living there for like 25 years, right? He had this little tiny cave. He was very simple, and he told me about this secret way up the mountain. Now, he also told me that if I had walked barefoot on the mountain, that I would receive Shiva's energy. And I thought, ooh, that's great. Here I am to awaken my Kundalini energy, my energy. What better than to receive Shiva's energy? So I decided, and I committed to 3 weeks of silence. I said, I'm gonna go 21 days in silence. I'm only gonna eat fruit, and I'm gonna walk every single day to the top of Arunachala, Shiva. Every single day, barefoot. And I'm gonna absorb Shiva's energy, and I'm gonna get to the top of Arunachala, and I'm gonna do pranayam. Because pranayam, while fasting at a high elevation, is electric energy. It's the fastest way to raise the Kundalini. So I thought, this is what I'm gonna do. Even though I was warned 3 times not to do this, I'm gonna go to the mountain and I'm gonna become enlightened. Well, guess what happened? I went up to the base of the mountain. I remembered the secret path that the little sadhu man had told me about. I had just a pair of shorts, and I ripped my shirt off, took my shoes off, I stashed them into the woods, and I took up the path. Now, the sadhu forgot to tell me that the secret path was more of like a mountain climb, all of a sudden I was surrounded by about 50, 60, 70 monkeys. I'm basically rock climbing up Arunachala. And it was very challenging, especially to do barefoot, to say the least. So I arrived to the top of the mountain, and I'm super stoked, and my feet were absolutely sore. I mean, just so sore, cut up, just abused from this mountain. And there's just this man on top of the mountain, right? He's just covered in tar, black tar. And he's just throwing things in the fire and singing to Shiva, and he's got this amazing trident painted on his forehead, and I start going next to him, and I'm all pumped up, and I'm Shiva, and I'm doing my breath work, and now's the time to electrify the prana and bring the Kundalini up, and when the time came to go down the mountain, I decided, I'm gonna take the tourist path. This is crazy. There's no way that I'm going back down that path with feet like I got right now. There's zero, no way. So I start heading down the tourist path, and I'm going down. It's much more friendly, much more chill, but it started bringing me down the wrong side of the mountain. And I was about halfway down, and I said, oh no, what am I gonna do? I don't have my shoes, I don't got my shirt. There's no way I'm gonna be able to cross over the mountain. I'm not going back up and then back down. So I just kept going. The little path dropped me off in this strange little ashram with a bunch of sadhus running around in orange robes. And if you've ever been in India and you know what I'm talking about. And here comes this jungle man down the mountain with bare feet and no shirt on, and all the sadhus are like, what the? And they try to talk to me and engage with me, and I'm thinking, I'm silent, man. I'm waking in my Kundalini, like, shh, please. And so I just kind of booked through this whole ashram, you know, with no shoes on. I'm super haggard. I was just determined just to get home and drink some water and chill out and maybe eat some papaya. Well, when I came through that ashram, it dumped me in this little tiny, you know, the path dumped me in this little tiny village where there's just pee and poo all over the roads. Been in India, you know what I'm talking about. It's in a super poor area, and I was about a mile away from my house. So, what did I do? I walked straight through those roads, barefoot, all cut up. I got home and I took a shower. I didn't sleep that night. I squatted that night and I had diarrhea all night. All night. Never in my life has it been so bad. I mean, I pooped in my bed, on the way to the bathroom, on the bathroom walls, everywhere. I mean, I only had a hole in the ground. That was I had no toilet. I didn't sit down. I was squatting for 8 hours. Okay, when the sun rose that morning, it was the greatest relief of my life. I ended up spending 3 days in my bedroom with nothing but drinking water. After those 3 days, my whole being was white. I looked like a ghost, and I opened my door, and the woman that had rented me the room looked at me and said, you need to go get help. And I said, yeah, I need a new room. I need a new room bad. And yeah, needless to say, I broke my silence. I started going to all-you-can-eat buffets every morning, and I would just sit there and crush these mountains of food. I mean, all just handfuls of rice, then a big bowl of yogurt, 3 glasses of juice, then I'd go to the German bakery and eat 3 pieces of cake for breakfast, and it would all just come out. Those 3 weeks in India were some of the hardest weeks of my life. I lost about 30 pounds. I ended up having to go back to the US and cut my trip short because I was so sick. At the end of my story, I have learned the greatest lesson of patience. And I understand now that the 3 gurus were trying to tell me, to teach me, to relax, have patience, to be consistent about my practice, and my day of enlightenment would surely come. On this channel, I'm going to share lots of tools to prepare the mind, the body, and the soul for this moment of Kundalini rising, for this moment of enlightenment. I encourage you to subscribe, to check out this other video that I'm going to share with you. Give me a thumbs up, share with your friends. Aloha, see you soon. Yeah.